Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive Mission Street. Well, last time we came to Roswell, we overcame an alien entity that it took the combined might of the US military to contain, much less fight. And we have retrieved item 186, aka the power cell. So now it is time for us to get out of here and head back to San Francisco.
I get back to my speeder and set a course for home. Having the power cell with me is eerie, like I'm carrying an urn full of someone's ashes. Was it actually constructed in some distant galaxy? What's its purpose? What would a hand grenade look like to someone on another planet?
And that brings us to day 8. A message from the dead. Although there actually be several messages from the dead, but let's not quibble.
I unlock the door to my office 4 hours later, stumble into the bedroom, and hit the bed face first. After a long nap, I lift my mashed face from the mattress and push my aching body up from the bed. Like it or not, there's still a lot of work to do. My first priority is to break the code on Malloy's disk. I have the feeling the contents will give me a few answers.
Hey, Murph, I'm calling from Bermuda. It's me, Archie. I just wanted to call and say thanks for the tip you left me. You were right. Someone broke into the shop and wrecked everything. But who cares? I'm in Bermuda. I rented a boat today, and I'm going to the Bermuda Triangle. I gotta go. Thanks again, Murph.
Had to have been Clinton. Now, she was an alien. Well, I'm glad Archie's safe and sound. If only the rest of us were so lucky.
And hey, we have messages that oddly enough we had not noticed before. So Tex apparently just sat down, answered that one message, and then stood up to go deal with the other message.
Guilty as heck. The grip.
Let's see. 3 messages.
Murphy, I've got the printout of your anagrams. Give me a call.
Okay.
Well, I arrived safe and sound in Phoenix. It's almost as hot here as it was in your apartment the other day. Well, I just called to say hi, so hi. You're not avoiding me, are you? I certainly hope you're behaving yourself while I'm gone. Well, if you've been a good boy, I'm going to give you a nice treat when I get back tomorrow night. Now remember to polish your teeth. Bye.
Okay, well, we definitely seem to still be on the straight and narrow path. I was going to say noble path, but that too. So, yeah. Just a little reminder what we're working toward. And we'll go ahead and delete all the messages this time. First things first, let's go ahead and call Lucia.
Got my message?
Yeah, and your file. I don't think you know how much you were asking from me.
Sure I do. I just got a lot of faith in you. So you ready to trade?
Can you fax the printout of the anagrams over here to my office?
No problem. But I prefer that you not fax the file here. I'd rather have the real thing. If you can hang around your office for a bit, I'll send the express courier over and pick it up.
All right, but make it snappy. I don't want to hold on to this any longer than I have to.
And that is the last we need to speak to Lucia. But as long as we're on the phone.
Well, it's good to see you alive and well, Tex. I must admit I wasn't certain I'd ever have the pleasure of setting eyes on you again, at least not in this life.
Hey, Roswell wasn't so bad. Hell, I spent a whole week in L.A. once.
Well, you're a braver man than I. So was your trip a success?
Well, still being alive is an accomplishment. Oh, and I did find the power cell.
You did? Great. Excellent. Now we just need the contents of the other boxes.
Speaking of which, I think you might be able to give me a little more helpful information.
I'll do what I can.
Actually, he can't give us much more helpful information. So we'll go ahead and get off the phone.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
Luckily, Purnell only included the anagram combinations that were made up completely of actual words. After looking through the list, only one anagram jumps out at me. Merge the 4 rare cases to see maps. Maybe there's a password somewhere in there.
Actually, that would be the whole password. We'll go ahead and jump to Tex's computer room. And we'll use Malloy's disk. Oh, it was merge the 4 rare cases to see maps. Hello, Elijah. I see you figured out my little puzzle, and since you're reading this, I'll assume that something has happened to me. You always said I was looking for trouble. Well, I think I found it. You should already have received a package from me. I've sent similar packages to the few other people I trust most in this backstabbing, self-destructive world. Collectively, you are the Council, which now holds the key to a locked door, behind which lies the knowledge of ancient and distant intelligence. As you know, visitors from other worlds have come to our little corner of the galaxy. You've always believed, but now you may have a chance to see evidence with your own eyes. Unfortunately, there are others who want what I've discovered and not for the altruistic motives we share. For that reason, I've created something I have somewhat theatrically named the Pandora Device. The contents of the package I sent you must be used with those contained in the packages sent to the others. Together you will learn what I've discovered, and I hope your combined power, influence, and wisdom will determine what should be done. Now, I know you're one of the most stubborn and reclusive men I've ever known, but I'm asking you to seek out the others I've entrusted and make sure this thing is carried out. Time is running out, and you must act quickly. You know I have a tendency to belabor the point, but let me end by saying this. What awaits you is something the world may not be ready for. If this is your conclusion as well, keep in mind that it's better to destroy something than allow it to destroy. And we've got phone numbers for Elijah Witt, Oliver Edson, Gordon Fitzpatrick, Emily Patterson, Archibald Ellis, and not applicable for Regan Madsen.
Looks as though this Elijah Witt has one of Malloy's boxes. And he doesn't sound like the kind of guy who'll just hand it over to a stranger. Regardless, I have to start by finding out where Witt lives, and all I've got to go on is his phone number.
We do, however, have a handy tool we can pick up from our friendly, well, not so friendly electronics shop.
That's pretty small. But I guess video phone call tracers don't need to be very big.
What can I help you with?
You might be interested to know that the Robco call tracer is endorsed and used by the Moroccan chief of police. Attach it to your vid phone, then keep the other party on the line until the light goes on. Easy as falling down. $40.
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
All right. So now, back to the office.
I don't normally have a lot of faith in Robco products, but I sure hope this thing does the trick for me. All I gotta do is attach it to my vid phone and keep someone on the line for a while.
Alright. Now, there's only one right way through the conversation tree that follows. And I remember pretty well at this point.
Can I help you with something?
Are you Elijah Witt?
Who wants to know?
Dad?
Who the hell are you?
I'm your long-lost son. Gosh, it's so good to finally meet you.
This some kind of a sick joke? I don't have a son.
Well, let me see if I can refresh your memory, Dad. Little bar in Omaha, Fifth of Wild Turkey, karaoke machine.
Who is your mother?
What I love is how that part actually seems plausible to Mr. Witt.
I actually never knew my mother. I was abandoned in an orphanage with only a small blanket and your name written on a cocktail napkin. I've dedicated my life to finding you.
You expect me to believe that cock and bull story? Who are you?
Okay. My name's Murphy. I'm calling as a mutual friend of Thomas Malloy.
If that's the case, then why all this crap about being my son?
I had to make sure you weren't an imposter. Malloy told me that you had no sons and always used the phrase cock and bull.
What do you know about Malloy? And make it good. You're wasting my time.
Well, he was killed before he could get a certain computer disk to you. I broke the code on it. It was merge the 4 rare cases to see maps, an anagram of the title, There Are Messages from Outer Space. That's how I got this number.
How did you end up with a disc meant for me?
And bingo!
That's not important. What is important is the message Malloy wanted to give you. Meet me at the Imperial Lounge in New San Francisco in 2 hours. If Witt takes the bait, and I'm betting he will, it should give me enough time to look around his place.
Alright, so with that done, let us travel to Elijah Witt's apartment.
The address displayed on the call tracer is in Vancouver, BC. On the flight up, I probably passed Witt, who's headed to the Imperial Lounge. I tracked down Witt's address to a high-rise residential building. I get inside and pick the lock to the apartment. Immediately, an alarm goes off.
Thankfully, we have a little bit of time to deal with the alarm. And this gives us a hint as how to deal with it.
Cool. Simon game. No, wait. Uh-oh. Looks like I've tripped an alarm.
Duh.
If this is the kind of unit I think it is, I probably have a couple of minutes to shut this thing down, or it'll automatically contact the police.
And that tells us which buttons to look for.
It appears to be a...
And there's a red one up there.
It appears to be a switch. Whoa. It appears to be a switch. Sounds like I got that alarm turned off.
And we're in just the right place to start rifling through his underwear drawer.
Appears to be a scrapbook.
And hey, here's a scrap.
These notes look interesting.
And can't open those drawers, but...
A pair of tweezers. Just the thing for refining my unruly eyebrows.
proper grooming is important as a old school PI.
A stack of boring and I'm sure unimportant books. Looks like some kind of reference material. Whit and I apparently have different tastes in bedtime reading. I doubt Whit would leave a real fire burning. It's supposed to be an artificial flame.
And hello?
It's like a book on the Mayan calendar. I personally prefer calendars of the Sports Illustrated variety. This stone figure looks interesting. The foliage is a pleasant addition to Whit's apartment. This diamond pattern is different from the others.
Hey, a switch for the fire.
A heat-resistant foil packet. Keeps the hot side hot and the cool side cool.
Of course, grabbing something from a fake fire with our bare hands, not a good idea. Of course, somehow this will work. A copper key. And the calendar book has a list of the months of the Mayan calendar. Let's see, culture book. The early archaeologists did manage to decode the Maya's number system and its calendar. The number system was fairly simple, employing only 3 symbols: a dot for the value 1, a horizontal bar for 5, and a simple shell for 0. In contrast to their number system, the Maya calendar was incredibly complex. The Maya identified each day by a combination of a name and a number from 1 to 13. Because there are 20 names and 13 numbers, 260 days could be named by this method, giving a 260-day period, the sacred cycle, as one fundamental unit of time.
Looks like Whit made some notes about opening the box Malloy sent to him. According to this, he seemed to think that he'd have to figure out a Mayan date, then what that date would be on a modern calendar.
And it says to open the box, when the modern calendar date to the date in the Mayan 260-day cycle. Symbol represents the god governing one of the 20 cycles. Number of days in the cycle, one cycle is 13 days. Assume both start at the first of the year. And there's a little wall scroll here that gives us another little indicator of that.
It's like a number chart of some sort.
Yeah, this just shows the Mayan number system again. And the one other thing we did not look at yet in detail. Photo of Whit's statue.
The statue in this photo looks remarkably like the one over by the fireplace.
And you better believe we're writing that number down, or series of numbers down.
Looks like Mr. Stone here has a keyhole for a belly button.
And yes, it's another sliding tile puzzle. Thankfully, this one is fairly simple, especially in entertainment mode. You have to get it to match the sequence that we just looked at and wrote down. So the number on the bottom is 26. So we need to reverse that because that's 2 and 6 right there. We actually need to get that other 6 in there. Yeah, this one's trickier than you'd think. Just gotta get those 2s back in the sequence there. Okay, so we've got 2 and 6 there, and then we need to get 4 and 4 on the next line. Okay, next one is 61. So we need to get that there. And oh dearie dear, I did kind of mess this one up, but I think I can switch this around. Okay, so we got 61 there, got 4 there, and 77 on the top. Yeah, except wait, it's 77, then 61, then 44. So, try that again. So now, 71, 61.
Something heavy just moved around here.
And it was, in fact...
Well, hello. Time for you to come to Papa.
And while I could stand here to work this out, I'd rather not stand in the middle of a crime scene. So we're going to go ahead and travel back to the garden house, where something else just showed up for us.
Looks like a package arrived from Malloy. I don't think anybody's gonna mind if I take a look.
Certainly not that kind old lady who we conned into letting us in here in the first place, who we probably should tell should not be expecting a rent payment anytime soon. Okay, so Sakpaka Hotel, and it contains the puzzle box and an untranslated letter.
There are recessed grooves around the squares on this box. Maybe I need something to fill them in with. There are 4 dials on this box which can be moved. Looks like I need to set a modern date on the left, then a Mayan date on the right.
And this puzzle is probably the single most annoying in the whole game. At the very least, it's one that requires the most amount of actual work from you as a player, because you actually do have to go through and figure out the symbols and do the numbers on this. And it's basic math once you go through and you match the symbols up and figure out, okay, well, these are in the book, these are what the numbers go to, and then start crunching the numbers from there. But yeah, the first symbol here is a how, and that is 4 dots underneath, so clearly we want that to be 4. And we turn this dial to set to the appropriate deity. Okay, and the corresponding date, which I wrote this down ahead of time, is September the 8th. And set dials, so we're 1 down. Now that next one is 10. And the symbol on that one is Chunin, which I just passed there. Luckily, in entertainment mode, it doesn't really matter if you click past something. But on entertainment mode, or game player mode, there's no margin for error. So that would be Chunin 10. And the corresponding date for that is May the 20th. So click that back around there. Set the dials, halfway done. Now that one is clearly 3 dots. And the symbol is Moloch. Looks a bit fishy to me. And the corresponding date for that is April the 17th. So we gotta turn this one almost all the way around. And finally, that is 11. And the final symbol on this one is Men. And the corresponding date for that is July 12th. So set that for July, turn this one almost all the way around. And set the dials, and it is open. So we take a look at Wit's Unlock Puzzle Box. And it has Pandora Device and some onyx pieces. I wonder if those might go with the grooves of the box we just got.
There are recessed grooves around.
And this puzzle, not quite as annoying, but it's a bit vexing if you're doing this in game player mode because it's timed. But the trick is basically you're trying to match the pieces here, and you have to get them into the right spot. And you can kind of look at the pattern to guess which parts go with which, but it is a wee bit vexing because some of them look like they should go together and they really don't. Actually, I think that one goes that way. But you do get a little bit of help in that they do click into place once you get the right one where it's supposed to go. And that one, oddly enough, does not. Yeah, but that one did, so you know that one is supposed to go there. And that one did as well, as did that one. Remember that big one goes, yeah, that one goes on the side there. There's a triangle right next to that one. Yeah, right there. And kind of a wedge there. Yeah, that goes there. That one actually does fit pretty well in there. And yeah, that goes there, which means that that part must go there. And yeah, I really think that one does go there. Just click into place. Okay, well that one doesn't go there, but that one might. No. Yeah, that one's too light for there. That one might go there. And does that one go there? Yeah, that one goes there. So that one might go there. Or does that one go there? Yeah, that one doesn't seem to want to click into place there either. No, but that one went there, so well, one of these has got to go in there. Not that one. Yeah, it seems like that should fit there. Okay, well that went there, and well clearly that goes right there, doesn't it? Seems like it should. And okay, that goes there. Okay, which means that has to go there, and that one. Okay, well that one finally, I guess those did work. And this gives us device piece number 4. So time to go start combining some of these together. And then that will go with that. And that will go with that. Oh, and yeah, let's go ahead and combine this with the untranslated letter. And take a look at this. Senior Malloy, my name is Eduardo Mejela. I am the manager of the Sacpacal Hotel. We received your package and kept it to give Senior Edison. It gives us pain to tell you we believe Senior Edison to be dead. He vanished several weeks ago and has not been heard from since. We have sent our men to search for him, but we have had no success. I am returning your package along with this letter. Please accept my sincere condolences, Eduardo Mejena. This hotel has their own men to send out looking for people in the jungle. That is an awesome hotel. Okay, well, we have the device and the power cell.
This is definitely the object shown on the...
And combine that with the power cell. And we now have a Pandora device with power cell.
I'm pretty sure I got all the pieces assembled, but it still doesn't work. Maybe Fitzpatrick can help me get this thing to run.
And again, how amazing is it that Malloy, who, from what we know, he is only trained as a linguist, was able to assemble this thing, put it into these puzzle boxes he had built years ago, and was able to get this thing to work with a power cell for an alien device, you know, that there's only one of these things in the world. I mean, that's pretty damn awesome. And let's see, and I've seemed to clear my inventory of most everything except for the photo of Regan, the jackknife, my cash, the ever translated letter, and that black dagger from before. Oh, and the matchbox, because, you know, you never always need matches. But, yeah. I think we've gotten everything done, except for checking in with everybody. So, let's head back to the office.
With Malloy's device assembled, but still not working, I return to my office and call Regan and Fitzpatrick. Regan arrives first, then Fitzpatrick, who's brought along an unexpected guest, Elijah Witt. I don't bother asking how that happened, but Witt is clearly on Fitzpatrick's side and suspicious of Regan. He's not my biggest fan either, all things considered. But Fitzpatrick negotiates a truce, then not surprisingly pulls out the final piece of the puzzle. He hands it to me, and I slide it in an open slot on the side of the Pandora device.
Everyone is here, I presume. All of you are here for a very important reason. You are now a council assembled in order to make a very important decision. What I'm about to reveal may be the greatest discovery in the history of our planet, yet may also be the most devastating. As you know, I have spent most of my life trying to decipher the alien symbols discovered in the Roswell spacecraft. Well, I have lived to fulfill my ambition. The translation of the alien hieroglyphics clearly states that another spacecraft preceded the arrival of the one in Roswell. And now I know where it is. The translation also indicates that the second spacecraft is much larger than the Roswell ship, possibly a colonizing vessel. As most of you know, the Roswell ship carried a lot of equipment, including particle accelerators. What you probably don't know is that it also carried tiny pods of antihydrogen. I believe it's possible, even likely, that there are large quantities of antihydrogen on this second ship. Here on Earth, experiments creating and storing antihydrogen have met with little or no success. Now, if society is ready for such a discovery, I think it would be the most wonderful ever. It might allow us to finally break the barriers of space travel so that we could explore distant galaxies and contact other civilizations. But if this technology gets into the hands of the wrong people, it would undoubtedly result in the complete and utter destruction of our world. The decision is now. in your capable hands. Good luck, my friends. Pandora's box has been opened. It's now up to you to close it.
Look. Look there. It's down there. Anti-hydrogen. That must be what the black sun symbol represents. Devastating discovery.
Well, I think we're all in agreement with this. It has to be destroyed.
Not so fast. Maybe my father's experiences in the military biased him. And think of the possibilities and the money this thing could be worth.
Money's no factor here. We're talking about a force 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times greater than the atomic bomb. It's like handing a child a laser cannon.
Whatever the ramifications, the point is, we must find the spacecraft.
When are we leaving? I need to go back to my room and get some stuff.
Hold on. We're not going anywhere. I'm going down after it.
Really? And when was that decided?
Well, almost 40 years ago. Could you see, on an operation like this, I'm a solo kind of guy.
I don't know what kind of a woman you think I am, but if you think I'm going to be sitting around the room like a delicate flower, you got another thought coming.
Whitnire agreed that all of us must go down there, each of us taking a separate route. I strongly suspect that other parties will be getting involved. I want to maximize the odds that we get there first. Take this communicator with you. We'll try to rendezvous at the spacecraft. If there are any problems, that'll keep us in touch.
Well, okay. Gentlemen, if there's nothing else, I guess I'll see you down there in a couple of days.
Hold on, Murphy. You take this card. This guy will get you down there safely. I'm going to tell him you're coming tomorrow. And don't take the woman. We got no margin for error, and we need no excuses.
So what you're saying is, you don't want me to take the woman?
No distractions.
All right. Fitzpatrick and Wed had taken a taxi to my office, so I offered to give him a lift back to the Savoy. Fitzpatrick seems lost in thought, and I have a hunch he knows something he hasn't told us. On the way back to my office, I try to imagine what we're about to find. But the whole thing is so incomprehensible, it only makes my head hurt to think about it.
And here comes the point where Tex once again realizes he really needs to lock his office when he leaves.
Well, I suppose you've already sat in my chair and have eaten my porridge, too.
Took you long enough. I thought I was gonna have to start in by myself. I hope you don't mind I made myself comfortable. And I'm very comfortable.
Yeah. You look it.
How long does it take you to smoke that cigarette?
Oh, you'd be surprised. You know, I've never been very good at figuring out women. Could you explain to me what's going on here?
Don't tell me you've never done this before.
Well, just once. By myself.
Come over here, little boy. If we're gonna be in this thing together, I want to make sure you're in all the way. Promise me, Tex?
Now, if you've been watching my Let's Plays up until this point, you know we've done everything except for Path A, because Stall, that's a neutral way. Promise, that's the bad guy way, but darn it, we're the good guy. We're going to stay true to the woman we're waiting for, the one who has promised something very special tomorrow night. We're going to refuse.
I can't do this, Regan. There's somebody else. It wouldn't be fair to her or to you.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I can give you everything. I can love you better than you've ever been loved before.
Look, I don't want to argue about this. The way you look makes it tough as it is.
There's a fortune just waiting for us.
I'm going down there by myself, and that's all there is to it.
You blew it. Could have had everything. Now you have nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm willing to gamble that I'm going to have something at the end of this. So yeah, day 9, Black Sun Ascending. And wash away the rain.
After I wake up, I pack several days' worth of supplies and contact the pilot Whit had set me up with. Flight down takes about 12 hours, giving me plenty of time to think about last night. Regan probably isn't accustomed to being turned down by a man. Not that I didn't think twice, but she and I have very different ideas on what's to be done now. Fitzpatrick and Whit were right. I don't know exactly what we'll find down in Mexico, but whatever it is, I'm sure the world's not ready for it. Regan doesn't seem to understand that.
Uh-oh, black speeder. That can't be a good sign.
I know that whatever Malloy was looking for is just on the other side of these ruins. Since the jungle's so dense, it might be better to see if I can find a way through the structure itself.
Yeah, because since when does cutting through an ancient Mayan temple ever cause something bad to happen? Well, this is where we shall close this chapter out, and next time we will continue into the depths of the stone temple. We'll see you then.